Hello again, everyone. It's Doris at DF Designs. Today, I don't know if anybody remembers this heart. I don't even remember how I did this heart. But I'm going to embellish this with some leafing. It's not so much gold leafing, it's red leafing, okay? So the first thing I want to do is put on a pair of gloves, because I don't want to get any of my oils on it. You know, the oil from your skin and whatnot. And there's no resin involved right now. I can't remember which one I opened, so let me see if this is the one that's opened. No, this one isn't open. That's the only, nor my phone. I'm in a group chat with some very, very chatty girls. There we go. Okay, this is the one that I opened before. Okay, here, I'll show you this bottle because I can tilt it. This is Metal Leaf Adhesive by Beacon. It is sold at, I can tell you truthfully, I know Hobby Lobby has it, and I'm pretty sure Michael's has it too. I'm not sure about other craft stores or online. Okay, now I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I got these stencils, and I'm going to try to, first before I do the edge, I'm going to try to put the, try is the operative word, I'm going to try to put the leafing adhesive down using the stencil. I just want to clean this real quick because I did sand the edges and sand the back, and I just want to clean it off real quick. Okay, there's a couple of steps to leafing. The first one is, of course, you put your adhesive on, and then you're going to put your, let me hold this up to the light to make sure. Yeah, it does. It's going to get another clear coat, but I don't need to sand it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out where I want to put this feather at. Because I want to do one here, and I want to do one over here. And I'm afraid it's going to overlap a little bit, but nothing I can do about that. And when I do finish with the stencil, I'll have to stop the camera, because you've got to wash this stuff off immediately after you use it with soap and water. I'm just using a regular brush. Let me see if I can tell you what size. Well, you can see what size it is, okay? And it's got a couple of hairs that are sticking out, so I'm just going to trim those little guys. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my adhesive down on one side. Now, because I'm using a stencil, and I don't want it to go underneath the stencil. When you're doing the edge, you want to be kind of quick, and you want to be brushing inward, because you don't want any to get underneath it. So I'm just brushing it on. I'm not having too much on my brush. This is going to have to dry for about 60 minutes. You don't want to brush this way, and you don't want to brush that way. You want to go from the outside in. And if you don't have a lot on your brush, you should be able to keep it on top of the stencil edge. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you get the center. That you can brush in any direction. Okay, and then what I'm going to do after I do this and clean out the stencil, I'm going to do around the edge. Okay, come on. You don't, it goes on white and it will dry clear and it'll be tacky. So, and you can see if you've got it too thick because it'll still look white after you brush it on. Okay, there's one side. Now, I do not know if this is going to work. I'm probably going to end up putting some of this on top of it, but I'm not going to push it down over there quickly. I'm trying to eyeball it to get it straight. I probably should have measured it. This is not easy when you got it up on a support, but I wanted it up on a support so any of it when I do the sides, well, I may end up holding it up in the air, you know, to do the sides. Okay, whoops. I'm going to brush inward. Don't brush across these pieces. It depends on how much detailing you got. Okay, there we go. There's my two feathers. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to stop the tape so I can go clean this off immediately so it's reusable. So I'll be right back to put the rest of the stuff on. Okay, now I got my stencil all cleaned off, so now I'm going to do my edges. Now what I want to do is I want to do kind of a jagged line around here. So I'm going to go on here and I'm just basically going to go in just, you know, at different lengths, okay? And then at the same time with whatever's on the edge, I'm going to make sure it goes down because I want the gold leafing to go, I mean the red leafing I should say, to go all the way down. Okay. I probably, because I don't know how long it's going to take for it to dry, I'm probably going to because when it dries clear, and I'm probably going to see, I'm just trying to do different widths of the edge. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't want it to be perfect, in other words. And then I'm going around the side. And I also started down here at the point so I could remember exactly where I started at, so I don't have any problems remembering where to stop, because by the time I get over there that'll have dried clear, so it's going to be a little hard to see. Basically, if you're not sure where you started or stopped at, what you do is, wait a minute, I got a lot right there. What you can do is if you hold it up to the light, you can usually see where the clear stuff is at, because it is a little tacky at that point if it's clear. So you can usually see. I want to make sure that all the edges are covered in red. And I know I did a tutorial not too long ago on doing this. I did a gold leafing around a purple round that I had done. Purple, black, and white, and I can't remember. I think it had gold in it too. And I just did gold leafing like this all the way around. You don't want to get it too thick, but then you want to make sure it covers it. And you got to be very careful now with the front, because you know you got your two feathers on there. Okay, see, I'm just going around. Okay, and you know what? I'm going, okay, now you've seen what I'm doing. I'm going to stop it again, and I'm going to finish off the whole edge, and then I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to come back when it's dry and start leafing it. So I will be right back again. Okay, I am back because it looks dry in most spots. So I'll start leafing where it's dry. Now, I don't want them to stick to my gloves, so I am going to take my gloves off. And, oh, Christ. Ah, there we go. Sorry, I didn't mean to take the, there goes my Band-Aid. This is what happens when you get to doing the edge of too many coasters, when you're sanding and doing the backs to get rid of the drips. You have a tendency to scrape your knuckle. Okay, gloves are off. I am going to get a little pair of tweezers to handle the paper. Okay, now basically, oops, this paper comes, each sheet's got its own stuff, okay? And basically, I'm not sure if there's a right side to this one or not. I know sometimes on the other stuff I buy, I really don't see a right side or a wrong side. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm just going to lay this down. Now I can see where my little feathers are at, so don't worry about any holes that you've left open, because you will fill them in. I don't know if it would be easier to take it off, so let me try taking it off of the whole thing, because you don't want to breathe too hard on this. See it now, it's sticking to my fingers. So don't worry about it. See, it's really sticky. I'm going to tell you that right now. I have seen people that use this stuff wear white cotton gloves when they're doing it, but I have none. And you can take the little bits off your finger. Let me see, I gotta look at it sideways. Yep, I think that's it. Okay, I'm just going to have to rub this off. You can always save the little scraps. That's why I put a piece of paper down, so I would be able to like lift up the paper. Let me try it with the tweezers. Let me see if that's any easier. This stuff tears so easy, it's not even funny. Okay. Now I'm going to pull up a part that's not sticking to any of the adhesive to make sure that, okay, there was no adhesive. See, I can't see the adhesive right now, but this is okay. You just want to make sure you get stuff stuck down. When you go to brush it off, after you've burnished it, which I'm afraid to burnish this because I'm afraid that, so I'm just basically patting it down where I know the sticky stuff is at. And let me see if I can lift up this a little bit. I know there's some sticky stuff right there. And you don't want to breathe too hard, and I am a heavy mouth breather. Okay, now I'm going to try doing the edge. See, this stuff is so thin, I went to go pick up one and I ended up picking up 3. Yay! Now I'm going to just, oh, almost lost it to the floor. Now I'm just going to go around and do the edges. And don't worry that you've got some hanging down, because you can always pull it off and go around to the next spot with it. So basically, that's all there is to it to get the stuff on there. It's so lightweight, you don't want to breathe heavy. And when you see a little spot that you didn't get, you can always take a small piece like what I got hanging off the edge and go over it with that piece. Okay. Now I'm going to take another sheet, and I hope you've got the gist of this now, what you do with the sheet. Come on. See, it's got static electricity and it doesn't even want to let go from the paper. I got some of this bottom edge I didn't get over here. So I'm getting some and I'm just sticking it on the bottom edge. Okay, so that's basically how you get it on there. You fight with it. And I'm not good at editing, so I don't want to I can't fast forward through this. So I'm going to stop the tape and finish doing this, basically taking pieces and making sure that all the glue is covered, or all the adhesive, I mean. It's not a glue, it's because it stays tacky once it dries. You can see it's a long, tedious process, but the end result to me is just so pretty that, to me, it's worth it. Okay, so let me stop the tape again, so I don't bore you with what I'm doing with this long drawn out process. And then I will come back okay. I thought that was the top of the feather, but I guess it's not. I will come back once I got all the adhesive covered with the foil. So oh, and that's really blown out, and I apologize for that. So, let me bring it up. Let me see. I apologize for that. I didn't think of that. So, hopefully, you could see enough of what I was doing without seeing the foil. I apologize for that, but I don't know. I just don't know how else to do that. So I'll be right back with the foil on all the adhesive. Okay, I am back. I'm going to hold it up so you can see where the red's at. Okay, so you can see where the foil's at. And I want to show you something. Right here, and right here, and right here, I missed putting some glue down. So when I got to that spot, I had to put a little bit more glue. Now all I gotta do is just put a little piece of see, it sticks to your fingers bad. So now I'm just gonna put down a little bit of the foil right there. Just to cover up where there was no foil at before. Okay, see, this is what happens when you're sticking it down. You end up getting glue on your fingers. So you got to be careful about that. So I'm just going to lay this down right here, if you can see what I'm doing. And I'm taking these little bits that are sticking out over the edge and putting it where I put some glue at a little while ago while I was trying to cover this all with the foil. Okay, now you basically do have to wait to let it dry. Okay, I used a half a sheet right here. Let me see if I can tell you how many sheets I ended up using. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all got glue on it, that's why it's sticking. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I will put a link below the video of where I got these, where I found them at on Amazon. They come in different colors. I don't know if you can get just one color. I ended up getting a pack of 6 different colors, and I think, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I think there was 25 of each color. So now you see how many, well, I got a half a sheet I didn't use. Okay, here is a little brush. It's a real soft one. It's made by here. How about if I just let you focus on the word? I can't pronounce it. It's just a really super soft brush. Okay. Now I can't do the sides because they're not completely dry, but you can start brushing away the stuff that isn't on the glue. And of course you can't see that, so there we go. Okay, I apologize, I didn't think about the glare with my lights in doing foil. So you just want to basically, yeah, see, I don't know if that's glue there or what, but you just want to take your soft brush and brush away the stuff that isn't glued down. If it sticks, even though you know there isn't any glue there, you can, well, I just used my fingernail. I'm not sure how to get that up. So I will work on that, and I will figure out how to get it up. And now I'm doing, you can see most of the, let me turn, you can see most of the feather shape. I have no idea why that stuff won't come off, so I may have to take something else that's harder than this. But basically, after you've burnished it down with your finger as you're putting it on, you want to go over it. Now I can see where it's sticking and there is no glue. So, okay, I'm going to have to maybe call somebody or text somebody that does this and ask them help. What do I do with this part? So basically you want to go over it with your brush, and you want to get rid of all the stuff that isn't glued down, and ignore that for now. And I'm just going over the edge, and you can see some of it is still hanging off, but that's okay. See, I didn't have enough glue there, I don't think. So what Or it may not be dry. See, I don't know. Oh, geez. I made a mess of this. So, you can learn from my mistakes. I know one thing I probably should have done, and I didn't do it, and that was to sand it. So, what you're trying to do is you're trying to brush off all the little pieces. And you can tell where it's glued down and where it's just sticking to the resin. So, okay, I got quite a bit of it stuck in my brush. Let me see, what can I do? Let me get a little paintbrush over here. I got a whole set of them in this place over here. I'll just use this one. I was using this one to paint an edge the other day. See, I've never used this gold leafing before. Okay, the only thing I can think of that you could do would be to use an edge to scrape where you know there is no glue, and just scrape off what's there, because you can tell where the glue's at. I don't know if you can see that some of it's coming off. Okay, this is going to give me problems. So, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do this. You can pretty much scrape up the stuff that's outside your design with your, well, I'm using my fingernail. I don't have that long of fingernails, but I'm bound and determined to make this thing work. This is going to work whether it wants to or not. So I'm going to stop the tape. I'm going to keep working on this, and when I come back I will tell you which worked best. I may have to get some Q-tips and some alcohol. I don't know yet. So, but see, that's where I'm afraid of it getting underneath the stuff that's glued. Okay, so let me stop the tape. Tell you what, if this doesn't make it to my channel, then I didn't figure it out. I don't need you all figuring out my messes. Okay, this was a total failure. I'm going to tell you why. I ended up scratching this, trying to get off the stuff that wasn't supposed to be on there. I ended up scratching over here. I'm going to touch up the edges just a little bit with some red. Just, you know. And then I'm going to try, I'm actually going to try clear coating over it with a thin coat next time. I ended up cutting a little tiny piece of 220 grit sandpaper because that was the only thing that would get it off. Okay, so I'm not going to post this until I've touched it up with red and clear coated it, and I'll show you if I was able to save it. I can't guarantee I was, but this was supposed to be Friday's video because I was supposed to be able to clear coat it later. I might still try to clear coat it, but you can definitely, you can see the feathers, okay? You can't see all the little blemishes that the red stuff left. Maybe it's not so bad. I don't know. Anyway, after I clear coat it, I will add that part and post it so you can see my fail. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, this may not be a total failure. I'm going to take this. Let me bring it up closer. The problem I had was some of it stuck here. Now, I'm going to tell you, I really think it was because it was cheap leafing, okay? Because I'll put a little link up in the corner up here to the video where I did some leafing with some better quality leafing, and I think it turned out better. So I sanded off what I could, and I'm gonna clear coat it tonight, and I'll put a little tiny bit at the end of this video showing you what it looks like with the clear coat after it cures, you know. I don't like taking pictures of it when it's still wet. So I might be able to save this. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I will come back with it clear coated in the morning, and I apologize for the glare. Okay, it's the next day, and I'm back. I was very upset yesterday with how the gold leafing went on. I thought I did something wrong. Oh, I didn't get the edge right there. I clear coated it. This is what it came out with. I gotta do it one more time because I didn't, it missed one little edge right there. So anyway, I think I know what I did wrong, because there was alcohol on here, and I thought it was dry, but maybe it wasn't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do another one with the same technique. If anybody out there can tell me what I did wrong, I'd like to know, because I'm pretty new at some aspects of this. So anyway, and also, if y'all want to just tell me what you'd like to see me do in, you know, in upcoming videos, just leave me a message. Oh, I didn't realize my camera was a little off kilter. So anyway, let me try to get this back. Yeah, that's about as good as I'm going to get it with the glare. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and post this video anyway, so you guys can see the mistake I made, and so you can not learn from my mistakes. How's that? So anyway, I want to thank y'all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. So just remember, I love the resin right out of you, okay? Bye for now.